All right, I think that's going to do it. I haven't looked at the team rosters yet, so we're going to wing this. But our second game here, game number 2 of the Spike Magazine Trophy, and game number 2 of our doubleheader this evening is going to be Necro versus Orcs. We're going to have the MAML Nightmare versus the Tizz Savage Boys, Festung versus Tizzle Bizzle, Necro versus Orcs. Let's take a look at these two rosters together for the first time, shall we? All right, MAML Nightmare is going to be the home team for tonight's game, coming in at TV of 1,240,000 gold. They have 12 players on the roster, but the number 12 the number 12 Zombie will not be starting. So 11 players on the roster, no bench for the evening. Both werewolves on the roster, 2 wraiths, 2 of the ghoul runners, both flesh golems, and a handful of zombies round out this roster. 5 dedicated fans, 2 rerolls. That is a man. Lots of fans love this team. They're going to be up against the Tizz Savage Boys, coached by Tizzle Bizzle. They're coming in a TV of 1,245,000 gold. I've already forgotten what the other TV was, but it sounds like there's not a whole lot of money going back and forth there. 11 players on this roster as well. They have the big guy in the untrained troll. They have 3 of their 4. They have all 4 blitzers. They have all 4 big and blockers and a couple of linemen. They have the Oppo, 5 dedicated fans, and 2 rerolls. How are these two teams going to play tonight? Well, the Orc team, they're the away team. They are a bashy team, right? They are the canonical bashy team. They have lots of strength. Those big end blockers have a strength of 4 amongst all 4 of them. The blitzers, of course, come with the block skill. You tend to want to take block on who doesn't have it. You pick up some guard and some mighty blow, very similar to dwarves, but they have speed as well. They're a very good running team. Lots of block, lots of mighty blow, lots of guard, lots of strength. Means they're going to be trying to obliterate some key pieces on this Necro team that we'll talk about in just a second. Just a very, very solid roster here for Tizzle Bizzle going into the Spike Magazine Trophy. Remember, this team has 8 games under their belt after the Chaos Cup. They're going to be playing at least 8 more in regulation here in the Spike Magazine Trophy. And man, they're already a pretty scary team. Mighty Blow, of course, gives you a +1 to your armor or your injury roll, whichever the 2 you need it for. So if you can naturally break armor, you get a +1 to the injury roll. It's a very, very solid skill. Guard is going to allow you to assist even if you're marked. So what this team's trying to do is they're just trying to get more strength than you have. They're trying to get those 2 die, sometimes even the 3 die block with the block skill, with Mighty Blow, get you off the pitch, and they'll continue to beat you up. As on offense, they're going to move down pitch in a cage, no question. On defense, they're just going to try to beat you up while staying in front of you. They're going to be up against this Necro team. They're going to have to change up that defensive plan a little bit because of a couple of players on this roster. It comes down to these 2 ghoul runners and these 2 werewolves. These are the only real ball carriers on this roster. Why? Well, the wraiths are the blitzer on the roster. They have block, decent speed, decent strength. The problem is they have no hands. They can't pick up the ball, so they are not ball carriers. The flesh golems are not ball carriers. Why? They are their edge is not great. Their speed is terrible. The zombies are not good ball carriers. Why? Their edge is not great. Their speed is terrible. It comes down to the 2 ghoul runners with that MA of 7 and the 2 werewolves with the MA of 8. The werewolves are absolutely the stars of the show here. MA 8, strength of 3, edge 3. They're solid pieces. A nice average armor of 9+. They have claws. That means they treat everybody's AV as if it's 8+. That is going to be huge in this matchup. They have Frenzy as well, one of which is a Blodger, Dragon Redclaw, the number 1 werewolf there. Blodge makes him very, very safe defensively. On offense with block and Frenzy, and Claw makes him an absolute terror on the pitch. And the Orc team, Tizzle Bizzle, is really going to have to watch out for not just both werewolves, but particularly the number 1 werewolf here. These wraiths can be a problem as well. They have block and sidestep, which means, right, blitzers tend to come with the block skill. That's great in and of itself. Sidestep is a big nuisance, right? As we talked about a little bit in the first game, sidestep means instead of getting blocked back, you can go into any open adjacent space and you decide what that space is. So they can remain marking you, they can get extra spaces out of this. One has the block skill, and they have foul appearance. We've talked about this a bit in the Chaos Cup. This is such a nuisance piece. When the Wraith was first announced by GW, I was like, whatever. But man, after having played against these Necro teams for a little bit now, foul appearance is such an obnoxious skill for a level 1 blitzer, right? because these Wraiths will come in for the block, they'll get the mark, they'll put themselves in a position, especially with that sidestep, right? They'll put themselves in a position where you really need to get them away, right? They're in your lane, or they're marking the ball carrier, or they're somewhere that you don't need them to be. You go in for the block. Foul appearance means that if you try to block or blitz them, you have to roll a d6 first, and on a 1, you are so disgusted by their appearance that you decide that you're not touching them. And you lose your block, and if it's your blitz, you've lost your blitz for the turn. It can be a real nuisance to deal with. The 2 Ghoul Runners, very fast as well. They're a little bit fragile with that AV of 8+. They come with the dodge skill. The number 5 Ghoul Runner is a blodger. That's great. And he has sure hands as well. Also a great pickup for a Ghoul Runner. Pretty solid roster here for Festoon as well. The 2 Flesh Golems, great control pieces with a strength of 4. They're not very fast, but both have picked up block skill. One has picked up guard. Guard's great on these strength 4 pieces. They have stand firm as well, which means if they get pushed back, they don't actually have to be pushed back. They can stay right where they are. They're a great anchor for a roster. They're a piece that you can dance around, right? They can be an anchor for, you put them in maybe center pitch, and they can stand firm right where they are, and you can shift your cage to the left, you can shift your cage to the right. Very solid pieces, and these linemen are nothing to sneeze at either. These linemen, they're pretty average, but for 40k, pretty average is great, and they have regen, which is also great, and because you have a regen roster, that means that you can get more zombies for free. If you kill certain pieces on your opponent's team, they will play for you as new zombies. So I think zombies are great. Very solid roster. The 2 Ghoul Runners and the 2 Werewolves are going to have big old targets on their back for this Orc team. These pieces need to be kept safe. The trouble with these Werewolves is that the Werewolves want to be taking those blocks. Frenzy means they have to follow up, and that means they're often in a position where they're not safe. So Festoon's going to have to be very mindful of that and keeping those Werewolves safe while still actioning them, right? It's very easy to keep the Werewolves safe. Just run it away from the drive. But then you're not getting any utility out of the Werewolf, and that's 125k, 165k that's going to waste. So you really want to be getting those blocks. You want to be using these Werewolves perhaps as ball carriers even, but you need to find a way to use their skills while still making sure that your opponent is not going to put a cleat in their eyeball. And that can be a little bit tricky. So the Orc team has 4 real targets to worry about here. MAML Nightmare, on the other hand, has lots of different positionals to play with here, and they're all great in various ways. And it's gonna be a real fun match, I think. So I'm gonna stop yammering. We're gonna head on over here, and we're gonna get this game, second game of our doubleheader underway. There it is. Welcome to the stream. Says no Orc Dockers. They are veterinarians, though. Festoon says, nervous here? Oh, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. It's just a gaggle of orcs. Whoop, this is not the game we're watching. This is another game that's going on right now. Let's kick out of this. There we go. This is the game we're watching. All right. Looks like nothing in petty cash. Oh no, this is the first team. Yeah, 5k in petty cash. That's nothing. Effectively nothing in petty cash. Here's the coin toss, and the Savage Boys are going to win the coin toss. Tizzle Bizzle chooses to receive. That means MAML Nightmare will set up on defense to start this game. 3 on the line currently for the MAML Nightmare. All 3 Zombos. Festoon says, such a good team. Good luck to my opponent. And let's hope I have a team after. That's always the hope, right? Cups formation on defense, giving up those sidelines against this Orc team. It's not a particularly fast team. They're not slow, but they don't really have a lot of speed. Like, they're not MA7, MA8, or dare I say MA9 like a gutter runner. So that's totally fine here. Going to try to control center pitch against this Orc team. 5 on the line now for the Tizz Savage Boys against the 3-man defensive line. 2 back to receive. 1 is Mouthy Barbecue, the number 5 big end blocker. and one is Chelsea Zola, the number 4 blitzer. I'm sure those will get shifted around here, and as the Tizz Savage Boys set up for this opening drive of the game. I have so much work to do. I honestly thought today was Wednesday. I don't know what's happened to time. A friend of mine told me to try Resident Evil 8 and Resident Evil 4, the Resident Evil 4 remake in VR. I will try them. I played Resident Evil 7 in VR, and it was a ton of fun, and it was terrifying. Von Rue, welcome to the stream. Good to have you. All right, 4 on the line for the Orcs. Here's the kick. Brilliant coaching is going to go to the Mammal Nightmare. They're going to get an extra reroll here. So 3 rerolls for Mammal Nightmare for the half. Von Rue cheering for this Necro defense. 1 die block to get things started with the wooden dice here by Tizzle Bizzle. Stitch Jaw Brain Snatcher. The right defensive end is going to get knocked down here. 8+ breaks armor with Mighty Blow. There's the armor break. Gets a stun. Two-die block against Rot Gut Mix Smash. Gets the knockdown thanks to the block skill. No armor break. 1 more block on the line to go. Takes a mark on Brack the Bludgeoner. 2-die block against Corpse Grip Stumblefoot. Gets the knockdown again. 8+ will break armor. Space Magic on the block. No armor break. Blitz still on the table. Ball kick to the 16-yard line just inside the right wide zone. Double pals over in the right wide zone. Vrex the Devourer. Devourer. Gets the knockdown. Got through that foul appearance roll. Begin blockers, remember, have a strength of 4. Level 2 here with Mouthy Barbecue. Picked up the block skill. That is a natural pickup for level 2. 3+ pickup here in the right wide zone. Works out. Chelsea Zola with the pickup. No problem. Devourer. I feel like that's easier. Devourer. Savage Boys on the bonus clock here in turn number 1. I gotta say, that's a lot of pumpkins. Like what happened here to put all these pumpkins on the pitch? Like, what's going on? Like, was there a party? Like a pumpkin party? Like, what does that even entail? Words are hard. That's what I thought when he said Squircle. Nope, I didn't make that one up. 2-die block against the troll. The big guy here gets a push. Big guy with the strength of 5 has Mighty Blow as well. Big guys tend to have a nega trait, or a trait that's bad. It's colloquially known as a nega trait. For the untrained troll, that's going to be really stupid here. So this untrained troll, before they activate, they'll have to roll a D6. On a 50-50, they'll get their activation. Otherwise, on a 2+, they'll get their activation if they have a friendly piece beside them to tap them on the shoulder to remind them what they're doing here. Good knockdown here. Remember, everybody's AV is an 8+ when it comes to the claws of these werewolves. If they have a friendly piece next to them when they activate, it's a 2+ instead. If they fail that die roll, not only do they lose their activation, but they lose all their tackle zones until they succeed that die roll in a future turn. Food Polish says, I'm sure it's real to programmers, but normal humans. I don't know if it's real to programmers. It's real to, like, graphic designers. And then they tell us. And we go, oh, yeah, of course, a Squircle. Yeah, naturally. Turn 2 now for the Tizz Savage boys. Good stun there by the werewolf, and repositioning that werewolf after the blitz to get him back behind the wraith to safety. Very well done there by Festoon. Clevy says, is there only one werewolf? No, there's two. Werewolf here, werewolf here. The purple circles are the werewolves. Yeah, there's another werewolf behind the wraith over here. Why is the MAML logo not a Squircle? It could be. In fact, it is if you install the PWA. Did I blitz against the number 4 Wraith over in the left wide, just outside the left wide zone, I should say. Gets a push out of this. PWA, by the way, is a progressive web app. I just realized I said PWA, and nobody knows what a PWA is. So the way our website is written, you can actually install the website to your device. You can install it to your desktop or your phone with your browser of choice. They typically have an option. If the website allows you to install it, which ours does, you can install it as an application to your phone. But if you install that app, I'm pretty sure it'd be a Squircle. It depends. I don't know. I can't remember how it works on iOS, but on Android, you don't actually, or at least you're not supposed to decide the shape of the icon because the user can choose that. But you have to create an icon that works in various shapes and colors and stuff. Sounds like Ava's trying to backdoor our equipment. Shh. Two-line blocker over in the right wide zone gets the knockdown here. I just dropped a pen. I have a pen, naturally, not for work, but when I play Microsoft Flight Simulator, I write down what the ACCs tell me because often they talk very fast, and I can't I can't remember it. Well, not just can't remember it, but if I fly to like a certain airport and I'm unfamiliar with it, I'll need to write it down so I can actually, welcome to actually piloting. Hooray. I'll have to like write down what they say and then look up like the airport map and figure out where to go. I mean, look, I had these, oh no. Double skulls for the null turn. Turn 3 back to the Savage boys. Oh, that's gotta sting. It's gotta sting. So I got these taxi instructions. I asked a taxi to parking, right, at BWI. My taxi instructions were Papa Tango Charlie, Papa Sierra, cross runway 33 right to Quebec. I'm not going to remember that. Bootball says, you fly to airports? I'm just trying to do tricks in max altitude. Well, if you're going to do that, do it in DCS. Do it in like a military jet. Festoon says, I may have thrown the drive on that block. Absolutely not. No, you're still in very good shape here. Savage boys caging the ball up on their opposing 2-yard line here. Chelsea Zola with the ball. The big guy on the right corner of the cage. Barrel rolling a 737 is more satisfying. Is it? Black Wolf, welcome to the stream. 2-die block here against Zorath Flesh Renderer. This is one of the ghoul runners. Yeah. Ooh, scary. Got the KO. Very well done by Tizz Bizzle. So we'll see if that KO sticks. Remember, there's just 4 ball carriers on this roster. That was one of them, down to 3 on the pitch. Can't remember if I said hi, but if not, welcome to the stream, Black Wolf. Rambo on the blitz. Rambo on the block, excuse me. Gets a push against the number 4 Wraith, Clath Nightmorn. I was playing MS Flight Sim I think it was this weekend. It might have been last weekend. I don't really remember. I've had a lot of work to do. Days have just been going by light speed. But I had a great flight. I landed, and there was it was a 747. The 747 taxiing behind me. I was in a little Cessna 172, like a little piston aircraft, a little single prop. And I got so spooked by the 747 that I sped up and then hit the brakes too hard and nose planted my plane. Did I block over the right wide zone? Gets a push against Vrex the Devourer. Flyfy says 172s are awesome. They are awesome. They're great. Blue Polish says from real world experience, doing 67 in a fire engine / tanker is way more intense than 120 on a sports bike. I apply that to my flight sims. I can believe it. A fire engine is a lot of mass. Moving at 67 miles per hour, that's insane. Failed the rush over in the left wide zone. 2 rerolls to go. Oh, are they going to respend it? Are they going to spend the reroll here to cover that corner? Tizz Bizzle thinking about it, says nope. I'm good. That'll be a turnover. Turn 3 back to MAML Nightmare. Minute 30 left on the clock here in turn number 3. So the offense has opened up a hole. It's gotten the ball down pitch and behind the defense. The defense, we'll see how they might want to recover here. Good positioning here by Tizz Bizzle. As you can see, they've cut off. My line's too long. As you see, cut off the line here, taking a mark on the flesh golem, mark on the zombie here. They can't move this way. Everybody else is pretty slow, and so they'd have to come out this way, and it's not enough movement to get in on the ball. Poopel says these teams will be nasty by the end of the season. They are developed well. They are developed well. Frenzy follow-up here on the blitz. Gets another push out of this. Dragon Redclaw has to follow up on the blitz. All skills in the game of Blood Bowl are optional with few exceptions. Frenzy is one of those exceptions. On a block, if it results in a block or a blitz, if it results in a push, you must follow up and you must take another block. That is very important because if that follow-up block, say it's a blitz, on a blitz your blocks cost a point of movement. So if you have to follow up and take another block, if that block is a rush, then you've got to roll the rush dice. You have no choice to roll that rush dice and follow up. So you have to be a little careful with Frenzy. But Frenzy's a great skill otherwise, right? To get lots of dice. Because if you get a 2-die block into a 2-die Frenzy follow-up, that's 4 dice. And your odds of getting a knockdown have increased significantly. Tried to rush out Craven Bladeclaw over in the right wide zone. Failed the rush, but stayed on the pitch. Tizz Bizzle, the second, will reposition to take a mark, or keep the mark on the number 2 werewolf over on the right side. Repositioning to get between the werewolf and where the werewolf wants to be. Oh, look at this. I just realized. It's Christmas colors. The teams have Christmas colors. Nothing says Christmas like bashing each other's brains in. Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, wait, you know what I just realized? I was like, what's this haze? This is not clear skies. This is sweltering heat. Sweltering heat is in play. So at the end of this drive, up to 3 players from both teams may be not, or will be knocked out with heat stroke. Christmas in June. That's right. Where is Hank the Ranger? $30 seconds left on the clock here for the Savage Boys. So they're hanging out just outside the end zone in the left wide zone. They're under a little bit of pressure here. They need to cover the rear of the ball carrier here. There's the block on Dragon Redclaw. Really looking for the knockdown here. They're just going to get a dodge push out of this. I thought for sure they'd stay put, but they're going to follow up here. They're going to try to mark out that werewolf entirely. 2-dive block back at the line of scrimmage. Gets a pow on Rot Gut Mix Smash, the rookie lineman. Looking for a 9+ out of this. Doesn't get it. 2-dive block against the number 3 Wraith. Gets through that foul appearance roll yet again. And we'll get a push out of this. Black Wolf says, I'm rooting for my boy Fest. He's gonna win. I know it. Trust me, I'm a professional. It's very early in the ball game. It's anybody's game right now. Turn 4 now for the MAML Nightmare. Tizz has been doing a real good job of not overextending with this Orc teams. Really playing this Orc team pretty well here. Keeping the Orc team caged up, budged up, getting those hits, not spreading out too far. You'll often, like when we talked about the Elf team, we talked about spreading that team wide. Orc teams will tend to want to spread wide just to keep from getting enclosed, but you don't want to get too wide. You do want to get your guard assists. You want to get your natural assists. Good blitz here by Dragon Redclaw to knock down Chelsea Zola. Very well done. What did I miss while I was talking? 3+ dodges? Very well done. Ball on the ground, though. Oh, it's going to be difficult to keep that ball safe. That werewolf is going to have to get knocked away from the ball. Crikey says, I expected to get a push just to get the score over and done with. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad tactic either. You push that. So we talked, well, I don't think we have, but in past games we talked about the tactic of stalling, right? So if I have the ball and I score, I get a point, great. But the next step is I give you the ball. So what I want to do is I want to score without giving you the ball. And the way you can do that is with stalling, right? So if I have the ball in the first half, and I keep it all 8 turns and just wait to score until turn 8, then if I'm on offense and you only have 1 turn left in the half to score. So that's the basic of stalling, right? There's intricacies involved there that we're not going to get into. But it dropped my pen again. But the converse is also true, right? So like if your opponent wants to stall, well, if you can get the push and just push them into the end zone, then you can get the ball back sooner, right? You don't give them the opportunity to hang on that ball for another turn, and that might be enough turns for you to get on the board. Second quarter begins here with the Tizz Savage Boys. Lorax Dream is going to take a mark on Dragon Redclaw and the ball. Deny block against number 4 Wraith. Gets both standing resolved out of this. I just got a message from a friend of mine playing a game, not having a fun time, which I understand. 18 seconds left on the clock here for the Tizz Savage boys. Space Magic currently unmarked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a rush to blitz. 2 rushes to blitz, in fact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 1 rush to blitz. Here it comes. 1 rush to blitz. Got through the rush, got the pal, but took it on the number 6 Ghoul Runner instead. 7+ breaks armor. There's the armor break. Got the removal. Very well done by Tizzle Bizzle. Both Ghoul Runners off the pitch. Double pals back at the line of scrimmage. Went after the frail Ghoul Runner, got the injury out of it, got the removal. Very well done. Turn 5 now for MAML Nightmare. Ball still on the ground, but currently marked by number 8, Shunter USA. That's the big blocker with the strength of 4. The Werewolf currently marking the ball, but marked by both Shunter USA and Space Magic. It could be a 3+ to dodge out, but that ball being marked makes it difficult to pick up. Cleffy says you have blocked injury breakdowns. Do you have a spreadsheet somewhere? I don't have a spreadsheet. I'll let you know a little secret. I didn't finish it because I've been very busy. But before this competition started, I wanted to have it ready to go. It's almost done. I just haven't. I haven't had the bandwidth to finish it. But I have access to the Cyanide API, and I've been building out like being able to see player stats and stuff on the website, but also using that to calculate statistics for me. So I have code that will take that data and then it'll just do a bunch of stats and then it'll rank them by, by what I've decided is impressive, quote unquote. And then I can pluck out the ones I want. But in the coming weeks, we'll expose player and game stats to the public on the website. It should be pretty cool. I was gonna finish it, but I have VR. That's right. I was gonna finish it, but those rocks in Horizon Zero Dawn were not gonna climb themselves. That Skyhawk was not gonna park itself at BWI, let me tell you. Festoon says, game stats with my embarrassingly low numbers. I think your numbers are fine. I mean, good 3+ pickup here by Chelsea Zola. Is it going to be a score, or are the Savage Boys going to try to regroup here? They are going to regroup to try to stall this out for another turn. Cleffy says, I think I landed a 172 at Philly. Bootbeller says, I bet he will figure out a way to code in VR like a bad 90s hacker movie. I hope not. I mean, I'm not a pilot. I mean, in Flight Sim. Hey, so in Flight Sim, you can play on a network called VetSim, and it's real people doing air traffic control. It's a lot of fun. It's super cool. But you gotta know what you're. Again, I'm not a pilot, so I hesitate to say know what you're doing, but you gotta know what you're doing in terms of the game. And I landed a 172 at JFK once. Turn 6 now for MAML Nightmare. I'm not sure. I mean, it's pretty busy on VATSIM. It's pretty busy. It's even kind of busy on the regular like Flight Sim network. It's just you're not guaranteed that everybody's kind of playing by the rules, you know, on the regular like Flight Sim network. Like when you play just normal Flight Sim, you'll have people like going Mach 7 down a taxiway and stuff. Re-rolled the block here with Dragon Red Claw against Space Magic. Gets a push. Frenzy follow-up into the 1 die. Gets the knockdown here. Looking for a 10... looking for an 8+, but doesn't get it. But I would say it's fairly busy. I don't know how busy it is in real life. But, like, I've been there when there's, like... I mean... Like, I was there... Like, last time I landed at JFK... They had sequenced something like 5 planes. Like it was a little nuts. And there were probably 20 just on comms. Yeah, man. Like it was just lights in the sky. So you don't want to screw up, right? You don't want to mess up anyone. You don't want to have to make somebody like go around or anything. Minute 10 to go here in turn 7 for the Savage Boys to have the ball on the opposing 22-yard line. He says, man, you make it sound very much like real piloting. I mean, it is Flight Simulator, you know? 2-9 block against the Werewolf. Gets a dodge push out of this. Like, when I start up the 172, nobody cares, but Clyphus and I care. Like, I take all the covers off of everything. Out of the cowling, I take the chalk, I remove the chalks. I get into I open the door. I power everything up. I set, I set the lean of the engine. When ATC tells me to, yeah, you absolutely do. When ATC tells me to set my squawk to something, I punch that into the Garmin 1000. 2-die block gets the PAL here on the number 1 Werewolf. No armor break here. Festoon says, I just got nothing going. If anyone can reach out for some advice and point out what I did wrong, I'd really appreciate it. I feel like I'm stuck, especially against a team that's well developed. I will say good intentions, but do not. This is a league game, so I would ask that nobody offer advice during the game. Certainly after the game, feel free to talk shop and help out. But I still think you're in good shape, honestly. Yeah. That's what I assumed you meant. I just wanted to be clear to everyone. That's why I said good intentions. Maybe I wasn't super clear. But turn 7 here for MAML Nightmare. Black Wolf says, but do you make the plane engine sound effects? I want to know how authentic you're doing this. You don't have to make them. You can make them yourself. In fact, if you're in like, so I have the, you have to, you don't have to, but there's like, you can buy extra planes. So I bought the like people make planes, and I bought the Concorde, which is if you're unfamiliar with the Concorde, it was a supersonic passenger, like commuter commercial aircraft. And when you hit Mach 1, what's really cool, so you can set the camera outside of the plane if you want. And once you hit Mach 1, if you move the camera to the front of the plane, you can't hear anything because you're going faster than sound. And you move it back around to the behind the plane, you can hear it. It's super cool. You don't have to make noises, but do you? I don't. I don't. Good 3+ dodge here by Craven Blade Claw. So both werewolves still on the pitch. Gets a push here against Lorax's Dream. The Concorde's a beautiful, beautiful aircraft. Like the Yolk is like it's like an Art Deco like metallic V. It's really cool. Gets the knockdown on Timidius the second. Orcs very, very resilient. They have a AV of 10+. Hard to break their armor. Turn 8 now for the Savage Boys. So this will be the turn they're looking to score here. They'll absolutely do it. With 2 rerolls left, they may take some blocks first. So they're free and clear to get into the end zone currently. Yeah, in Flight Simulator, I will fly like an A320 or a 737 or a 47 or an 87 or something, but not on VATSIM. I am not ready to do that on VATSIM. On VATSIM, I will fly a Cessna 172 or a Cessna Citation. Those are the only 2 things I fly on VATSIM right now. I am not ready. I am not ready to fly passengers. If I need a tug, I'm not flying it. Clavius, thank you very much for the bits. Moob, welcome to the stream. Moob says, "Oh crap, new mammal season. I'm so excited for it." Me too. Me too. Two-die block against the werewolf. Gets a dodge push out of this. Gonna try to set up for a surf, it seems. No, not setting up for a surf because it's turn 8. So I've never not removed the plugs. I will say I mean, they do a really, like, flight sim is awesome, but I will say in the 172, I've gotten up to altitude, I've leaned the engine, and then, oh no! Oh no! I think Tizzle forgot it was turn 8. Oh no, what an error. Oh, after such a good offense. Oh no! I think Tizzle was just taking notes. It's like, oh, I want to fly a Skyhawk. Oh wow, what an error. Good removal here on Tizzle the second by Festoon with Craven Blade Claw. We'll see if that sticks for the second half. Man, it has happened to all of us. I cannot tell you how many times I have forgotten to do a thing. One die blitz gets the PAL here on Timidius the second. But, so I've gotten up to altitude and I've leaned the engine, right? And then I've gotten into like the pattern, right? I've maybe gone down to 2,000 feet or lower. Actually, it happened on landing. I forgot. I forgot to enrich the mixture, and my engine stalled. So that's all modeled in there. So unfortunate end to the first half here for the Tizz Savage Boys that were not able to get onto the board. It is a 0-0 ball game now. Electric Man says, I forgot how many things I've forgotten. Yeah. Oh, they did. Whoa. Whoa. 2 out with heat stroke in this half. This means the Savage Boys are going to set up with just 8 on the pitch. I think it's going to be 8 for Mammal Nightmare as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Mammal Nightmare. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. One of the werewolves out with heat stroke. Both ghoul runners out as well. That means the only effective ball carrier for Mammal Nightmare is going to be Craven Bladeclaw, the rookie werewolf. You can bet Tizzle Bizzle will have their eyes set on this werewolf. 2 in either wide zone for the Tizzork Savage Boys. Mouthy Barbecue, the safety. One-man player advantage for the Orc team. Mammal Nightmare on offense in the second half of this ballgame. It is a 0-0 ballgame, but boy, what a tricky drive this is going to be for this Necro team. They have to keep this werewolf on the pitch. If this werewolf gets removed, then Mammal Nightmare is going to have a real tough time moving this ball around. From the sweltering heat to the bitter cold, we're back to a blizzard. So these players out with heat stroke guaranteed to come back in the next drive. But now that it's a blizzard, all rushes fail on a 1 or a 2. Boot Polish says, a 7's the gentleman's blood bowl. Starts the drive off with the blitz over in the left wide zone. Cold and flu season. Gonna pick the ball up here. Failed the 3+. Doesn't spend the reroll. That's a turnover. Turn 9 for the Savage Boys. Are they going to apply some early pressure here? Move says, looks like Festoon set up for the semi-quick store. Blizzard doesn't help with that, especially with a deep kick. Indeed. Indeed. Sometimes the whims of Nuffle. We talk about that a lot too, right? Like, you can often... players will set up, and I'm not saying Festoon did this at all, but I've done this plenty of times, but you'll set up, fail the really stupid roll, bound to happen here, so now the untrained troll loses its tackle zones. But you'll set up and just ignore certain events, right? Like, I would set up all the time ignoring the blitz kickoff event. And yet you learn to not ignore that, right? Because it is, you learn to not take on the risk if you don't need to. So if I would be just fine playing back a little bit, I'll play back a little bit. I'll play against the blitz, because if I will be in a bad position on a blitz, I don't want to risk the blitz. So the Savage Boys indeed applying some early pressure here with Rambo, the number 2 blitzer, moving toward the ball carrier, as is Chelsea Zola. 2 blitzers moving towards this werewolf. The werewolf does have the speed advantage, of course. What would real life be like going from sweltering heat to a blizzard? I feel like that's just the end of days. Like, do your windows just shatter? Like, what happens? Idaho in June. 3-dive blitz on the number 3 Wraith. Gets a dodge push out of it. I'm sorry, gets a knockdown. That's sidestep, not dodge. Oh, got rid of a Wraith. That's huge. That is huge. Regen worked out. That's good for Mammal Nightmare, but bad for the drive. One of those positionals removed from the pitch. Huge removal for the in favor of the Savage Boys. That's called spring in the Midwest. One of the Wraiths off the pitch. Remember, those Wraiths are the Necro Blitzers, so to speak. Mammal Nightmare gets started with the blitz with Mortis the Mangled, number 8 Flesh Golem, gets the knockdown. Repositions Clath Nightmorn to take a mark on Space Magic. difficult position right now for MAML Nightmare. They've recovered the ball, did not declare a pass, so they're going to hold on to the ball here with Craven Blade Claw. So they're going to free up Rotgut McSmash. I imagine Rotgut's going to come back to try to cover the ball carrier. Lots of players marked now, though. And these marks are going to go in favor of this Orc team. We'll see how MAML Nightmare tries. So long as MAML Nightmare can keep this ball safe for a turn, if they can break away, then they'll be in great shape. That's the dance. That's the tactical game, right? It's who do I mark? Who do I pull back? Who do I have to keep the ball safe? Who do I have to prevent anybody getting at the ball? And can I do this in such a way that if I open up a lane, I run to daylight and nobody can catch me? Turn 10 for the Savage Boys. I'm consoling a friend. Hold on. All right, double pushes here against the number 4 Wraith. Remember, sidestep allows Festoon to decide where this Wraith is going to go. Went to the grocery store. They didn't have, the bakery didn't have the donuts I like. I was very sad. I was very sad. I mean, I wasn't that sad, I guess. Wow! Took the 3+ rush in. Is this going to be another rush? Oh! 2-die blitz on the rush. Got the pow on Craven Blade Claw. 9+ breaks armor. There's the armor break. Got a great armor break out of that. 2 rushes in the blizzard. That's a 3+ each. Bold move by the Savage Boys. With that werewolf stunned, MAML Nightmare is not going to have somebody that can effectively get at this ball for at least a turn. We'll see if the Savage Boys will be able to capitalize on this. MAML Nightmare is going to have to keep this ball protected for a turn. Very difficult on the sideline with the way the players are positioned right now on the pitch. Right now, the offense, they're all over here. The ball's over here. It's going to be real tough to keep this ball secure for a turn. Leffy says there's no one on the Necro team that can get to the ball. Is there? Nope. No, there is not. Well, technically he could with a couple of crazy dodges with this lineman and a rush. But that's just not viable. I think he just needs to keep tackle zones on or near the ball right now. 2-die block against Mouthy Barbecues, a both standing result. That's over just outside the right wide zone. 50-50 dodge off the line to take a mark on Space Magic, the number 7 blitzer. Turn 11 now for the Savage Boys. You know what? MAML Nightmare needed to do something, and they did. So we'll see how well this works out for them. Is your friend's name Tizzle Pizzle? You forgot to score. Nope. Nope. Oh yeah, but in VR, with PlayStation VR, the original one, I would get sick all the time. But now, like, VR game design has gotten a lot better. Like I've noticed they've added just slower movement, helps a lot. Tunnel vision helps a lot. And like snap turning helps a lot. So instead of actually like fluidly turning, you just sort of snap turn. You're looking ahead, and now you're looking to the right instantaneously. That helps a lot. It's not literally instantaneous. There's like a little bit of a sort of a transition there, and it just helps a ton. Also, like point to move helps a lot. So instead of actually just moving, just point a little cursor over here, and now I'm just standing there. Helps a ton. I played a couple hours of VR today, and I felt fine, which was amazing. "35 seconds here for the Savage Boys. Not out of the woods yet. They've got to fight for this ball. Here's the block on Clath Nightmorn. Mammal Nightmare was really hoping for that foul appearance to kick in. Clath Nightmorn can stay on the... Oh! Has no hands. Where's this ball going to go? So sidesteps onto the ball. Ball kicks out into the hands of the Troll. The Troll, of course, not going to be able to hang on. The ball's going to bounce one space forward to the Mammal Nightmare's 4-yard line, just off the left sideline. Double skulls by Chelsea Zola. Spends a reroll into a knockdown thanks to the block skill. Savage Boys down to 1 reroll for the game. 3+ pickup works out very well done by Tizzle Bizzle to recover the ball here. Trying to rush again. Fast. And just like that, we'll lose the ball here in the blizzard. Failed the 3+ rush. Turn 12 now for Mammal Nightmare. Now the Werewolves back in play. Recovered the ball on a good blitz, good blitz. And then lost the ball on the slippery ice. Uphill block to get things started. It's gonna work out. Gets a push out of this. Holy smokes. Hasn't cleared the ball just yet. Oh my goodness. Gets the knockdown on Rambo. Has to follow up. Breaks armor. Huge armor break. Got the removal. Very well done. Free and clear to pick the ball up. 3+ on the pickup. Got the pickup on the 6. Now where to? Plenty of movement left, but where to? Woo! My word! What a bold play! 2 3+ rushes to get the assist on Shunter USA. To get the knockdown and clear the ball carrier. Wow! Final turn of the third quarter coming up. What a turn! Unbelievable. Boom says, not gonna lie, I love this turn by Festoon. Me too. My goodness. Recover the ball. Just turn by turn. Action by action. What fantastic play here. Zayas, welcome to the stream. Zayas says, what a play indeed. Festoon looked at that play and said, I don't have a lot of guys. I need that werewolf on the ball, and I need it safe. What do? My werewolf is my good blitzer with that claw. You know what? I'm going to take the uphill block on the Troll. If that works out, my werewolf's going to stand up. It's going to blitz. If I get the knockdown, great. If I get the removal, even better. I have claws. It's an 8+. Works out, clears that ball. That werewolf has MA8. Lots of movement. Recovers the ball on the 6. Moves up, double rushes for the assist. Needed that assist against Shunter USA. Strength 4 versus Strength 4 would have been a 1-die block. Double rushes to get a 2-die block out of that to get the knockdown by the Flesh Golem that not only gets the Flesh Golem off the ball carrier, but knocks down that Flesh... I'm not the Flesh Golem. Knocks down the big unblocker, so that big unblocker is doing nothing next turn but standing up or blitzing, and probably not blitzing. Very, very well done. Here's the 2-die blitz on the werewolf. It's going to be a knockdown here. Breaks armor again. Got the KO. Very unfortunate for Mammal Nightmare, but a great knockdown for the Savage Boys. That's every effective ball carrier off the pitch. So now Mammal Nightmare on turn 13 to start the fourth quarter might be changing their strategy here. And instead of trying to win, might be just trying to play for the draw at this point. MAML Nightmare taking a bunch of blocks here, just trying to clear players. Oh, I wouldn't have let Mouthy Barbecue go. I would have stayed tied up. One die block gets Space Magic, gets the POW here. Breaks armor. Wow, got the removal. Well done. Still has some movement left with the lineman on the blitz. So MAML Nightmare, yeah, it's not in a bad position to defend. There's just not a lot of guys left on the pitch for either team. Oddly enough. I mean, look at what MAML Nightmare has done. 3 knockouts on an Orc team. So I believe it's 6v5 on the pitch right now. One-man player advantage for the Savage Boys. Let's see. Well, we'll see after this. Gets the knockdown on the Flash Golem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, one-man player advantage for the Savage Boys. Like I said, it's got to hold for 4 turns, though. It's going to be a challenge. It is indeed going to be a challenge. Failed the pickup here. Well, failed the pickup, but retained the ball. So failed the pickup. Ball bounced in the hands of Shunter USA, back into the hands of Lorax Dream. That's going to be a turnover. Turn 14 now for MAML Nightmare. 2-die block. Gets the POW here. So MAML Nightmare still has a formation in check. Going in on the ball carrier. Here's the stand-up blitz. 2-die blitz. That'll do it. Gets the knockdown here. Where's the ball going to bounce? Where's the ball going to bounce? Out of bounds. It's going to get thrown back in. Oh! To the Flesh Golem. Let's go. Oh, dodge with the Flesh Golem. Works out. Oh, ah! Wah! Oh my God, I'm gonna lose my voice. I'm gonna lose my voice. Holy smokes. Did I even catch that replay? Ha! Ha! Pushed to the sideline and the ball went out of bounds. Got thrown back into the Flesh Golem. The Flesh Golem on the 50-50 dodges away. Was able to pick up the ball on the 4+. And now it is Brack the Bludgeoner with the ball on the opposing 8-yard line. Let's go. Let's go. Turn 14 for the Savage Boys. I think we got a ball game. I think we've got a ball game. These two coaches have been going to town. Going to town. Look at what they've done to each other. And now a Flesh Golem has the ball. There's a mark on Brack the Bludgeoner by Mouthy Barbecue. That's straight 4v4 right now. A blitz would be a 2-die block. I mean, he can get there. Or, I don't know if Tizzlebizzle's he or she, but Tizzlebizzle can certainly get there, but boy, it's scary. It is icy out there. I don't know if you know, but it's snowing. Yep, failed that second rush. That'll be a turnover. Turn 15 for MAML Nightmare. They can't get anybody on the assist either, but a push is all they really need on the blitz here. So a push on the blitz would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not going to be enough. 1, 2, 3. Well, it could be enough. Here's the blitz. 1-die blitz. Got the POW. Let's go. No rerolls left. At least 3 movement. If they end 3 spaces away, they will need 2 rushes to score. They might risk the rush right here. We'll see. Boy, what a scary game. Ah! Risk the rush didn't work out, but the ball bounced in their favor. Yeah, Moob says should do the rushes now. I agree. I think that was the right call. Super scary. So with the 2 rushes, the problem was if they stayed put, they could have been pushed out of scoring position. Now they're just definitely out of scoring position. But you know what? Ajax the Riot with the raid. Thank you very, very much. Welcome, Raiders, to the stream. You're catching the final game of our doubleheader here. Wow, what a game. Oh, good call, good call. Couldn't be pushed out with stand firm. You're absolutely right. Yeah, nobody can get in the end zone now. So, you know what? I think MAML Nightmare is going to be A-okay with this result. I think they stuck it out here and played this out to a draw. Ajax the Riot says 0-0 close match. This has been a very close match. This was a great match. 2-dive block over in the left wide zone. Gets a push out of this. Yeah, let this be a lesson to anyone who plays Blood Bowl or maybe has been hesitant to play Blood Bowl. Like, I think this goes for any competitive game. It is not over till it's over. Like, it can be hard. It can be hard to keep playing through when the dice don't go your way or something messes up. Or remember, you know, in the first half here, Tizzle Bizzle with that troll block lost the opportunity to score, but kept up the pressure here, kept their head in the game, just as Festoon did here. And just keep playing, right? Keep going for that victory, because the tables may turn again. Ajax the Right said, wait, are you thinking about Christmas or something? Double Blizzard game? Funny you mentioned that. I mentioned Christmas earlier. Wow, what a game. What a great showing here by both coaches here in week 1. This has been a lot of fun. Very, very competitive game. Final turn of the game coming up. The Savage Boys are not going to be able to get on the board. Cliffy says Orcs can't score either, right? That is correct. Two-dive block over in the right wide zone. Gets a pow out of this. No armor break. Looking for some SPP. This has been a great game. This is a lot of fun. This is 2 great games tonight. This has been a lot of fun to kick off the Spike Magazine trophy. We got a 1-turn touchdown from Nick Satan. That was a blast. James Like Snacks with their first game in the league had a fantastic showing with Pro Elves. And that'll be the end. 0-0, the end of this one. And again, man, boy, against all odds, this ends 0-0. Yeah, GD to both indeed, Moob. Yeah, this was a great, great game. Very, very well played. Boy, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. And with that draw, both MAML Nightmare and the Savage Boys will advance into 2nd place in Division A. Again, congratulations all of our coaches who played this evening. After our doubleheader, Clypeus, thank you very much for the bits. After our doubleheader tonight, we're going to end the evening with World of Cheese in 1st place, coached by James Like Snacks. That's an Elven Union team. And MAML Nightmare and the Tizz Savage Boys both tied for 2nd place here in Division A, Necro and Orc respectively. Very well played. That was a ton of fun. All right, let's take a look at the schedule before we leave for the evening. All right, coming up next, we have, looks like 2 games tomorrow, not quite a doubleheader. But we're going to get the evening started tomorrow, June 10th at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's UTC -4 with my favorite team versus the Discomancers. My favorite team versus the Discomancers. That's going to be Electrics Man versus Ian. That will be Blackworks versus Necro. And then that's a lot of bias there. Oh, I get it. And then our second game tomorrow night is going to be at 9:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that's going to be between Odin and Snuffle versus the Remnants of Valor. Clypheus versus S. Beaver. That's Norse versus Humans. Then this Thursday, we're going to have a doubleheader. Thursday, June 12th, starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We have the NC Snakes versus the Fist. The Fist Noel. That's Moob versus Coast Modernism. Coast Modernism's first game in the league. That's going to be Dark Elves versus Dwarves. That's a classic matchup. And then at 10 o'clock p.m. Thursday evening, we've got the Goner Gets versus the Pipstars. Cobblestorm versus Dead Fred. That's Goblins versus Lizards. And then on Saturday, June 14th at 9:30 p.m. I'm trying, HX. 9:30 p.m. We've got Philosopher's Song versus the Purple People Eaters. There, I got there. Spire versus Sano. Sano's debut in the league. That's gonna be Lizardmen versus Chaos. Chaos Chosen. So lots of games to go here in week 1. 9 weeks of regulation before they cut the top 8, and that's not even the end of the season. After that, we've got the Dungeon Bowl and then the Blood Bowl. We've got a lot more Blood Bowl to go, folks. After week 1 ends, week 2 will begin to be scheduled, and when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to that schedule on our website at maml.club. That's MAML.CLUB here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, X, and Facebook. Hush you. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, guys. This game is great. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and the tabletop forum at your friendly local game store until tomorrow night, June 10th at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Monday evening.